Hi guys, welcome back. Last week we talked about diet, balancing macros, tracking methods. And I want to kind of extend on that and focus more on the macros portion. So, how do you know how much protein, carbs, and fat your body needs? I just read something relevant. My children are all swimmers, and I think this is an area where sometimes we fall short in training young people how to treat their bodies properly, because I know I didn't learn most of this until I was well into being an adult, already had children. And I feel like sports nutrition, even for young athletes, 9, 10-year olds, 12-year olds, kids that are pushing their bodies and eating like kids, don't realize how much better they can feel when they're training if they're properly fueled for the activity. So I talk to my kids about this a lot, and sports nutrition is not my specialty area, although I think it's something in the future I might, do more studying on because it's very important and it's overlooked. My high schooler is now telling me that she thinks it's overlooked and she's taking food for her teammates to eat before practice, her good friends that just don't pack anything to eat for school, and then they have a long practice after school. But I feel like this also applies very much to moms who are busy running around and doing everything for everyone, and often our nutrition falls short because we get so busy, and then it's whatever's convenient, if there's something convenient and fits the schedule that we can take and eat in the car, or meals get skipped sometimes, and that's what we want to avoid. So when we're talking about weight loss specifically, your body needs about 40% of your diet, between 30 and 40%. But if you're trying to lose weight, protein keeps you satisfied. So often I encourage women specifically to raise their protein and focus on lean protein intake throughout the day so that you feel full. Your muscles can recover from holding babies, carrying groceries, doing all the things that we work our bodies hard at that are just the daily activities, vacuuming, sitting at a computer and driving a car, and all these things that use our muscles in contorted ways. They're not always strength building, sometimes they are, but getting enough sleep and hydration, that also promotes proper recovery along with maintaining muscle, is what we really need the protein for. My husband has this idea that the protein is what you need to build muscle, and that's my next segue. Carbohydrates is what you need to build muscle. So it's important that we eat carbohydrates and protein together, especially in the beginning of the day when we've got the whole day full of activities to go through. So having only eggs, that's mainly, if you're having whole eggs, that's mainly fat and protein. Or having only a bagel and cream cheese, that's carbs and fats. Fats are also important, but fats take a lot more energy to burn. And when we're talking about losing weight, we don't want to overeat fats because we want to burn the fat that we're storing instead of adding more to be stored. The same is true of carbohydrates. If you're eating too many and you're not using them, then you're going to convert that to store as energy for later, fat. But we need the proper balance. And often, if we focus on getting enough lean protein, things like white fish, chicken, turkey, pork, shrimp, scallops, tuna, then pairing that with carbohydrates starting early in the day, we're setting ourselves up to have the fuel that we need to use throughout the day. You need to also make sure that you spread your meals out. So I try to front load my carbs early in the day and before my workouts and a little bit after the workouts to recover some of that energy for the rest of the day. What we don't need is a lot of carbs before we're going to sleep because they're just going to be stored. And that's when a lot of people like to eat snack foods and ice cream and things before they go to bed. So if we're smart about planning our meals, we're going to give ourselves more energy to deal with all of the things, the activities that we've got planned for the day, whether it's working out or momming or working. So another thing is that you need to make sure that you're spreading out your meals. Intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is good sometimes. It's good to allow your digestive system to recover and rest. But we don't want the window of eating to be so restrictive and small that we are restricting energy for activities that we have during the day. I almost never work out fasted. That means when I wake up, even if I'm teaching at 5:30 in the morning, I'm eating oatmeal and eggs at 4:30 in the morning. So you want to make sure that you're fueling for your activities. Let's see, I had one other thing. So some symptoms or indicators that you might not have enough nutrition for your activities are if you find you become irritable certain times during the day. And this is true of kids too. I have 6 kids, and I have found that certain kids, if I make sure they eat as soon as they get home from school, and I'm talking young kids, like between 6 and 11, if they eat as soon as they get home from school, they are much more cooperative and just nicer to be around than if you let them walk in the door and turn on the television or just go do what they wanted to do. If I have a snack that's enticing already for them to eat when they walk through the door, or if I'm there offering them something, I find that the activities go much better. And this was extremely obvious with my third child. He at one point had swimming lessons right after he got home from school. And I found if I had snacks for him, we would just set down the school stuff, the bag, whatever, change and get in the car and go. He sometimes would refuse to participate if I didn't get a snack in him before we went. So I found that this is hugely effective if you really pay attention to the cues that your body is giving you and that your kids are giving you. If you find there are parts of your day where you're lethargic, I have points in my day, and I realized this when I became a teacher, that there were certain points in the day where it was like, it was hard to keep my eyes open. And often this is a sign that your blood glucose may be dropping because of inadequate carbohydrates. So even if you have a normally functioning metabolic system, you're not diabetic, you still need to listen to these cues from your body because it's trying to tell you, yo, I need some fuel over here. And if it's as simple as that, sometimes for snacks, great healthy snacks are fruit, vegetables. They're usable right away for your body. And I like to pair snacks with a healthy fat. So hummus and carrots are a great snack to kind of bring that blood glucose level up, or oranges or an apple. And it's not always the lowest calorie food. So if we're always having salads, there's not a lot of nutritional value. There's micronutrients in there, but it's not a high calorie food, and it's not always high enough carbs to bring that energy back up to help you sustain throughout the rest of your day. All right, so questions about this, drop them in the comments or in our WhatsApp group. I hope you have an amazing week. Did I succeed? Yes. It's a little bit shorter than last time. I hope this is more digestible. Have a great time. See you next time.